So it's about time that Apple updated the Apple TV with the Apple TV 4. But what's new inside? Let's take a look in this review. So these last few days I've been playing around with the new Apple TV, and I gotta say so far I'm enjoying it a lot. It's quite different compared to the previous generation, but not physically. It's really all about what's inside. Now before we get into any of that, one of the main focus points is the actual set-top box itself. And here it is. You can see it's a little bit thicker than the previous generation, but other than that, it's pretty much the same. It's got the same shiny band going all the way around and a matte black finish on the top and bottom. Of course, we're greeted with the Apple TV logo. Not much has changed there, other than, like I said, the fact that this is a little bit thicker than the previous generation, and it actually gives it another fourth in thickness, if you will, if you put them side by side compared to the previous generation. Doesn't seem all necessary at first, but with some new hardware needed for better software inside, you'll really understand and appreciate why Apple made this a little bit thicker. And if you were hoping for a drastic change in remotes, you're in luck, because Apple's designed an all-new Apple TV remote dubbed the Siri remote, which literally has a Siri button built in, and you can use Siri with the Apple TV. When putting the two next to each other, you can see we have quite a difference. We have the same menu play-pause button, but no circular click wheel button, if you will. Instead, it's all based on a touchpad now above all the buttons, and we even have some volume rockers which IR blast to your TV and will automatically be able to control your volume. There's even a home button. When double tapped will even reveal multitasking, similar to what is on iOS. I really like this remote. There's even dual microphones at the top for Siri. Again, we have this really nice matte glass touchpad on the top portion there, which uses swipe controls. It's really cool. And the other portion, the bottom portion, is all blacked out. As a matter of fact, this can even be charged with a iPhone lightning cable, similar to the all-new Magic Mac accessories. Literally just plug in a lightning cable, no battery needed. So now it's time to jump into the software, and you can see right off the bat with the Apple TV, we're greeted with this beautiful scenic screensaver, and it's random. It changes just about every time. I'm not sure how often it changes, but there's always something different that you're looking at. It's a beautiful aerial view of a really nice landmark, and it ranges from all over the place, but hitting a menu button or the home button brings you right to the home screen of the Apple TV. You can see this is a lot different looking compared to previous user interfaces with the Apple TV in the past. It's a fresh new look, and as you can see as I just glide through the icons here, you can see that they kind of have this 3D parallax effect, which can be enabled by rotating the touchpad with your thumb or whichever finger you're using, and it gives kind of this really cool 3D effect. App developers who develop apps for the Apple TV can enable this in their icons and make some just beautiful eye candy icons. They just look so cool on the screen, especially considering the fact that they're gigantic on your TV. So the first thing we'll get into is media apps, and this ranges from YouTube, Netflix, Hulu, HBO. You guys know them. They were on the previous generation Apple TVs, so we're pretty used to them already. They're pretty standard, but of course now developers have more control over what the actual apps look like. They'll be able to optimize them in the future, which is a great thing, but it's pretty much the same, straightforward. I have some of them downloaded like YouTube and Netflix. I love those, so I'm primarily using them. It's cool that Apple includes them right through the App Store where you can download them. Up next is one of Apple's biggest selling points on the Apple TV, and that's iTunes Movies. Of course it's a big selling point because, well, they want to sell more iTunes movies. So opening up that app literally brings you to Apple's movie collection, and you can also view movies that you've purchased in the past. I have a couple, but you could also watch some previews if you're not so ready to buy them yet. It's, again, very similar to what we had on the previous Apple TV. Everything just looks a lot nicer. It's a lot more streamlined and easier to access. The iTunes TV Shows app is identical as well, just of course with TV shows. Now, the first time since 2010, Apple has went ahead and expanded the App Store past iOS and OS X onto tvOS, onto the Apple TV, and you can literally download and buy apps in the new App Store. And besides the streaming apps that you saw before that I was showing you, there's even games now, and Apple's calling this the game changer. I think they want to kill Microsoft's and Sony's Xbox One and PS4. I don't think that's going to happen at all yet. I think that's going to take some time, but they're definitely on the road to doing something like this. You could just see all the apps that they offer. A lot of them are very similar to the iOS titles that they respect in the App Store on iOS and OS X, so you'll notice that, but it's a step in the right direction, and a big direction at that. What's really cool is developers can use the new Siri remote with their games, and it literally, instead of a remote, becomes a game controller. You could just see here, just like I would with an iPhone or iPad, I'm driving this car using the gyroscope built into the Siri remote, and it's just working awesome. It's literally like Unreal almost, if you will. I understand game developers have done this before with other platforms, but to have the same kind of feel with iOS on the TV with the Siri remote is just a totally different feel, and you have to try it in person to understand what I'm talking about. It's so smooth and responsive, and I just really think Apple did a pretty nice job here. Another new feature is Siri built right into the Apple TV 4, and it can be enabled through the Siri button on the new remote, and as soon as you press it, you can start dictating exactly what you want. Let me see some movies with Will Ferrell. And immediately Siri gets to work looking for exactly what you want. You could give actor or actresses names, exactly what you're looking for in terms of TV show or movie. You could specify, you could ask what genre. It's pretty cool. But Siri goes beyond that, and you can ask things like to fast forward seconds, minutes, or in some cases even hours. You can also ask what the weather's like outside, or even something as simple as asking for the score of a baseball or football game. In the next version of tvOS 9.1, there will be Siri support included for Apple Music, so you can imagine if you've been using Siri for a while, this is really nothing new. However, it's going to be really cool to be able to use on the TV. Now, if only we could get it to the Mac. One of my favorite new features of the new Apple TV 4 is the fact that Apple has ported the music app, Apple Music included, to the new Apple TV, which is fantastic because I love having access to my Apple Music library and all of Apple Music's great features that it has to offer on all of my Apple devices. This just makes it that much better with the Apple TV. It's great to have it all in one place, especially if I'm having people over and I want to play music through my TV or on my TV and have it kind of appear with the really nice artwork. Apple kind of displays everything very nicely. You can see I have a great view of my recently added music and now playing in the top as well, right above the shelf of apps. Other than that, we have a really cool app switcher, which is great for switching in and out of apps, and there's even a Photos app so you could browse your photo stream through iCloud. But that just about does it for my review of the new Apple TV 4. Is it a game changer? I'm not 100% sure about that one, but it's definitely a step in the right direction. Quite honestly, I think Apple's gonna have a lot to do with the future of television. I think they have some pretty big ideas, and I think they want to change things up a lot. So I'm hoping that this TV kind of paves the way for the future of television that hopefully Apple can change. That's it for this one, guys. If you liked it, please be sure to leave some comments below on your thoughts. Of course, give this video a thumbs up and click the subscribe button below. And I'll see you guys in the next video.